This yoga sequence today is how to navigate. It's about navigating tough emotions. We can wonder, what do we mean by tough emotions? But we're talking about sadness, grief, anger. Whoa. So we're going to start the class with a meditation. Well, actually, I think we better start with some breath work. There is a way to breathe that we use in yoga sometimes. We inhale as we say so, and we exhale as we say ha, with the mouth open. And it's almost like the so and the ha are actually created by the sound of the breath. Inhale, exhale. Let's try so, ha, so, ha. So come into a comfortable sitting position. Imagine something difficult that you are going through. Doesn't have to be the most difficult thing you're going through, but something moderately difficult. We want to practice with moderation before we move into the more difficult. Now recognize your desire to push away the difficulty, to reach towards something that would soothe the difficulty in the moment. Maybe reaching out to someone, maybe having some chocolate, maybe distracting yourself with technology. Recognize your desire to push away the difficulty by reaching towards something that would soothe the difficulty in the moment. Maybe that means denying that this difficulty is actually happening. Now turn toward it. Breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth a few times. Now invite into your awareness a large figure of compassion and strength. This large figure envelops you in a blanket of love, acceptance, and security. It can be a big cloud of compassion or a large grandmotherly figure. Anything that feels loving and kind. Now imagine this figure is holding you. Turn fully towards your difficulty. Face it head on. There's no need to be scared. Feel this wise being enveloping you and speaking kindly to you. It will be okay. You are okay. You are lovable. You are enough. You are not alone. And we will get through this together. Let yourself offer and receive loving and kind statements as many times as you need until your mind and body can soothe and slow down. It will be okay. You are okay. You are lovable. You are enough. You are not alone. And we will get through this together. Let yourself offer and receive loving and kind statements as many times as you need. You're okay. We will get through this together. Let yourself offer and receive loving and kind statements as many times as you need until your mind and body can soothe and slow down. You are enough. You are not alone. We will get through this together. Each time you notice yourself reaching for the old familiar way of turning away from discomfort, try gently turning toward it. The more you train the mind to acknowledge and name whatever difficulty is here, it won't feel so challenging. Your limbic system, and specifically your amygdala, the part of the brain, the fear center of the brain, will send a signal to your sympathetic nervous system that you can physiologically relax. It will be okay. You are okay. You are lovable. You are enough. You are not alone. And we will get through this together. And let's do some more of that so, hum breath. So, hum, so, hum. If you've been sitting with your legs crossed, uncross your legs and just pat them out. I'd like you to come to your back. Bring the soles of your feet to the edges of the mat and bring your knees together in constructive rest. Maybe placing your hands on your belly or on your heart. Long inhale, long exhale. We all know what it's like to feel knotted up in our hearts because we are holding blame and resentment toward others. We know what it's like to feel knotted up when we are shaming ourselves for past actions. We know what it's like to feel knotted up in our hearts when we are armoring ourselves against inevitable pain of heartbreak. Humans will go to great extremes to avoid pain. But uncomfortable feelings can be fertile ground for transformation and real growth. We invoke compassion to help us face discomfort and reap rewards. In this practice, we'll gently open the hips, the hamstrings, and the heart. It helps us tap into the elixir of forgiveness and self-compassion. It helps us dissolve the walls of hardness and separation caused by resentment, guilt, fear. This work can be difficult, but it's worth every bit of our effort. It's not until we can forgive ourselves and others that we are able to experience true liberation. So, walking your feet together, bringing the knees together, allow yourself to fall gently to the right in a fetal position. From there, let's come to table. We're going to look for tension in the throat, in the shoulders, the hips, and the chest. Look for tightness. And we're going to begin with a wave. We're going to do several waves. We're going to do energy waves. So let's tuck the toes under, lift the hips, come into down dog. And we're going to allow the spine to move, arch the back and then come back. We're going to move the spine in energy waves, arching the back and then sending the chest forward, releasing resentment. Let's come back down to seated. Crossing the legs. We're going to place one hand on the mat and the other hand is going to come up. We're going to ask for help with forgiveness. So we'll just flow in and out. Floating over to one side and then the other. Finding compassion for ourselves and finding the space to forgive ourselves. Finding the space to forgive others. Bringing the breath along with the movement. finding forgiveness for ourselves, finding forgiveness for others. And now let's come back to table. We'll do some more energy waves. We're going to work towards releasing resistance. So we'll push back into child's pose. And then we'll slide forward into cobra. Back to child's pose. Releasing resistance to the posture and to forgiveness. Forgiving ourselves, forgiving others, letting go of resentment. Putting energy, creating space, making room to forgive, making room to forgive ourselves, making room to forgive others. We have resistance, that we're sending love into the front body, into the back body, releasing that resistance. So we're going to come back to down dog. Let's lift the hips. And notice if there are places that feel stiff. And just notice if there are places in our heart, in our mind, our spirit that feels rigid, feels like we can't budge. Let's raise the right leg into three-legged dog. And lower it down. We're releasing rigidity. Lift the other leg. Resistance. Feeling the feelings. The anger, the pain, the resentment, whatever. And at the same time, lower the leg. We're creating space to allow it to go. Bring your knees to the mat. Walk your arms out. And release resistance and love with greater generosity. Let's come back to table. And we're going to step the right foot between the hands. We'll lift up in a low lunge. Now bring your left elbow to your right knee. Noticing rigid places in our practice, noticing rigid places in our lives. Breathing into them. Finding the space. Quiet. Watch your feelings without reacting to them. Finding space then to forgive ourselves, to forgive others. Bring the palms of the hands to the mat, bring the right knee down. So we'll step the left foot forward between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Let's lift up. My left knee is up. My right elbow is on my left knee. I'm in a revolved lunge. And what we often do is we just push something is difficult. You know, we go get chocolate. That's what I do. Or we push it away. Or we distract ourselves with the telephone or whatever. But facing it in a calm way. So what it's going to take to heal. Bring the hands back to the mat. We're coming back into down dog. And if you want, it's entirely up to you because this is your practice, not mine. I'm just here. We're going to come back to down dog. And if you want to do wild thing, you can. So tuck the toes under, lift the hips. Notice your heart is moving toward the earth, and that Mother Earth is always there to receive and support. Now I'm going to raise my left leg. This is just if you feel like it. Bend the left knee, dangle the left foot over the right hip, and possibly you want to come into wild thing. Now, when you get to wild thing, raise your heart, bring your left hand to your heart. Forgiving myself, forgiving others. Just roll back over, bring the left leg up, lower the left leg. Lower the knees. We're going to come to a child's pose before we do the other side. Inhale, forgive yourself. Exhale, forgive others. So let's come back to that down dog and we'll do wild thing on the other side, but only if you like. It's really not relevant. It really doesn't matter whether you do it or you don't do it. Okay. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into down dog. We're going to raise the right leg. We'll fold the leg over. And we'll bring our right foot to the mat. Lift up. Now lift the heart toward the heavens and bring the right hand to the heart. We'll come back. We'll roll back over. Okay. Back into downward facing dog. Notice the places that feel tight. Notice the shoulders, the neck, the hips. Let's lower the knees. Come back to child's pose. You feel like crying, that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Crying actually reduces the heart rate. A good cry has a lot of positive effects on the body, and it releases toxins. So we'll come back to table and we'll step the right foot between the hands. Step the left foot between the hands. We are in a forward fold. Oh. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen through your spine, open across the collarbone. Shoulder blades are together and down. Fold forward. Inhale, arms out and up and overhead. And bring your hands to your heart. Let's step to the middle of the mat. We're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. Well, we're going to do a goddess first. So your knees and your feet are pointed in the same direction. Bending the knees, sitting down. Now, instead of goddess arms, we're going to bring our hands to our belly. So we're going to place the thumb at the belly button. And just maybe your baby finger reaches to your pelvis, to your pubic bone. This is to invoke feminine compassion. And maybe you want to sway. If facing what is difficult is what it takes. So that that difficulty no longer controls us. But it isn't easy. Working here today to release resentment, anger, and antagonism. And find forgiveness. So come upright, walk the feet together, and let's just circle the hips. Oh, well, that doesn't work either. Okay, so now let's go and we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold, if it feels okay to you. We're going to inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold at the groin. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Now you can bring your index finger and long finger to the big toe of each foot, if that's where your body wants to go, or you can bring your hands to blocks. Wherever your body is ready to go today, that's where you go. And let's inhale, exhale. We'll come up with a flat back. And we're going to heel toe the feet together a little bit. Well, let's just bring them feet under hips. Let's just do some swinging coat sleeves. Oh, what's going on with this? I'm all tangled up. Okay. So we know that the hips, the thighs, hamstrings, the big muscles, good place for unresolved energy to locate itself. And so these hip openers, this work is going to help us. We can begin to release some of this unresolved energy, unresolved emotions by moving the body. So we're standing again with our feet not as far apart as they were in Goddess. We're going to come into knees and feet head the same direction, and we'll come into a squat pose. Can't seem to get it right. Okay. So, also called garland pose. And so when we do garland, we usually wrap our hands around our legs like this. But we're going to bring our hands to our palms together. This is called Anjali Mudra or Heart Mudra. And we're going to rest our forehead on our thumbs. Our forehead is resting in our thumbs. And we are asking for clarity, for forgiveness. The capacity to forgive ourselves and the capacity to forgive others. We work with the intention of facing that which is difficult and doing it with loving kindness, with compassion for ourselves. We're asking for discernment. And from this pose, we're going to come to seated. Now let's separate the legs. Let's bring the heel of the right foot into the groin. Turn the body so it faces the left leg. And begin to walk over the left leg. Maybe holding on to the feet. What is asking for forgiveness? As you breathe in, forgive yourself. As you breathe out, forgive someone else. Now bring your hands to either side of the leg and come upright. And we'll stretch out the other leg. Now we're going to turn the body so it's facing the right leg, or whichever. And we're going to begin to walk over that leg, but only as far as we can go with a flat back. And being grateful for whatever it is we can do. It's good, whatever it is. It's enough. Now I'm going to walk over a little more and hold onto my feet with my hands and trying to keep a flat back. What is asking for forgiveness? Breathe in as you forgive yourself. Breathe out as you forgive others. Bring your hands to the mat and we'll walk back upright. Okay. So we're going to separate the feet. We're going to fold forward. And, each one of us body is different. We've had different life experiences. We came into the world with different body, and we don't know what's going on with one another. We just know what's going on with us. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm going to try to walk my hands forward. If it feels okay, you can bring your hands to prayer. Maybe what you'd like to do is find a block and bring your forehead to a block or on high if need be. Whatever's right for you. Maybe you want to stay upright and bring your hands to prayer at the heart. I breathe in forgiveness for myself. I breathe out forgiveness for others. I face the difficult emotions of resentment, anger, of betrayal, of violence, of violation. I face those difficult emotions. Let's come upright. Oh, yeah. This is called cradle pose. So I'm going to fold one leg in. I'm coming apart here. Sorry. So cradle pose, I'm going to bend my left knee and I'm bring my left foot into my right elbow fold, maybe. It's different every day. My left knee into my left elbow fold, maybe joining my hands and maybe rocking the cradle. We inhale to release tension. We exhale to nourish the self. Release tension, nourish the self. Now I'll put that leg down and I'll see what I can do with the other side. So I'm getting old and I'm getting stiff and things are starting to hurt and I just have to figure out, a journey, a path, just like all of us do. I'm going to bring my left foot into my left elbow. I'm going to bring my right foot comes into my left elbow. My right knee comes into my right elbow. I clasp my hands. I inhale to release tension. I exhale to nourish myself. Release tension. Nourish the self. Now let's untangle those legs and we'll bring them out in front of us. And we're going to walk forward, stretching out the back. Keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Coming upright, walking the hands behind the back. Opening the chest, looking up. I inhale to release tension. I exhale to nourish myself. Now this pose is a seated star pose. And I'm not real clear about it, but I'm going to bring a block and I'm going to place this block on the highest height, I think. I'm seated. I'm bringing the heel of one foot and the heel of the other foot to each side of the block. Now what I want to do is I want to widen my knees, but that's not exactly in the directions, but that's what I'm going to do. Now bring your hands behind your back. Sit up and lengthen through the spine. Open the chest. Lengthen through the spine. And now we're going to walk the hands, the fingers forward, and we're going to place our forehead on this block. I inhale to release tension. I exhale to nourish myself. As I breathe in, I forgive myself. As I breathe out, I forgive others. Instead of running from the difficult emotion, I try to find quiet with my breath and I face it. I don't push it away and I don't clutch it to me. I just notice it. I watch difficult emotion as if it's a cloud floating past my eyes. I don't squeeze my eyes tight, I just watch. And I notice that it floats on above. This pose is called Tirasana. It's a seated star pose. So we'll come up from there. So we're going to come to our belly. With our arms overhead. Now my arms are overhead, my forehead, my chin, well, my forehead and my belly, my heart, my legs and feet are on the mat. Find a surrender pose. Now I'm going to bring my hands into prayer. And I'm going to place my wrist in the back of my head. All we can do is what we can do. We take the next step. We do what we're able to do at any moment, and we let go of worrying about the outcomes. We face difficult emotion and quiet the body with breath and movement, or whatever it takes. We do what we can do, and we don't dwell on the outcome. We notice, we watch, we face difficulty. We don't judge. We don't grab. We don't push. Let's lower the hands. I'm going to ask you to come over to your back. Or if, you can do Shavasana in any position. You can do it on your belly. It's really kind of nice on your belly, or you can do it on your back. Come to quiet. So So you know what feels good to you. Maybe you like a blanket under your knees. Maybe you like a blanket under your head. It's okay to let the feet and the legs fall out. You can try to bring the backs of our hands to the mat and the palms facing the sky. The arms are a little distant from the body, so air can come up under the arms. We relax, relax, relax. Maybe tuck the chin and lengthen the back of the neck. Maybe tuck the shoulders under the back. Maybe lift the hips and tuck the tailbone under, whatever it takes to feel just right. Our emotional tensions and trauma is often woven into physical tension and pain. During yoga practice, we may unravel muscular tension. We may release associated emotions bound in our muscles. This practice can strengthen our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. It can increase our capacity to process difficult emotions and past traumas. As our container strengthens, as our body strengthens, our emotions feel safe to be released and expressed. Releasing trauma and pent-up emotions lodged in the body will reduce their associated symptoms of stress, muscle tightness, fatigue, pain. Letting go of these emotions and symptoms creates a sense of freedom and joy. While crying during or after yoga can feel extremely vulnerable, tears are a sign of courage, of strength, authenticity. Scientific studies have shown that after a good cry, our breathing and heart rate decrease. We feel calmer and emotionally stable. Stress hormones and other toxins are also released through emotional tears. Studies have also shown that crying stimulates the production of endorphins, those feel-good emotions. In short, releasing stored emotions will make you healthier, and you will feel better afterwards. Notice your breath and deepen your breath. Move your fingers and move your toes. Bring the soles of your feet to the mat by bending your knees. Allow your knees to fall gently to the right, coming into a fetal position, using your right elbow for a pillow. Thank yourself for whatever you were able to do during this class. Thank yourself for taking one step and being present. Using your right elbow and the strength of your left arm, push up to a comfortable seated position on your mat. Breathe in forgiveness for yourself. Breathe out forgiveness for others. Ah. 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 The light in me honors and reflects the light within you. May all creatures everywhere know peace, happiness. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.